Good news, we're breathing. Good news, we're alive. Good news are here, and no one can deny. I say good news, we're breathing. Good news, we're alive. Good news are here, and nobody can deny. You can break my heart, you can break my bones, but no one can break my spirit, 'cause my spirit is my home. You can take my money, you can take my time, but no one can take my spirit, 'cause my spirit is mine. I say good news, we're breathing. Good news, we're alive. Good news are here, and no one can deny. Oh, good news.
Welcome to How We Live, a series for and about women finding beauty, purpose, and meaning as they enter midlife. I'm Dr. Natasha Ghosh, an educator, therapist, daughter, wife, mom, and a woman approaching 50 who's just trying to figure it all out. In past episodes, we've talked about how women are valued and the midlife confidence gap some experience given a culture obsessed with youth. We discussed women's relationships with their bodies, intimacy, and menopause, reflected on families, the wisdom we inherited, and the importance of passing that on. And in a way, we talked about changing the timeline of our stories, because the fact is, women are living longer than ever, and Act 3's denouement doesn't really begin until we're nearing end of life. We heard stories about loss and illness and how these experiences shape decisions about how we really want to live. Now it's time to bring it all together and ask, what does it look like to empower ourselves to live the life we want, intentionally, fully, and genuinely on our terms? A life that honors our loved ones, but doesn't leave our own dreams and desires at the curb. As a therapist, I work with women who are reimagining their lives. They're reflecting on the past, taking stock of the present, and deciding what matters most for their future. They're asking themselves what it means to be a good woman in a world that often demands too much and sets impossible standards around the female experience. In this episode, we hear from women about the courage and determination it takes to stay true to their values and the wisdom they've gained along the way. People talk about wanting to follow their heart. I'm curious what that means to you, and is that a goal that we should even be aspiring to?
Tough question, Natasha, because follow your heart, and this heart changes all the time. It's just so weird. I know.
I've had a lot of time to reflect on sabbatical about what is the purpose of life and the meaning of everything, and if it's, what exists on the other side of professional success, and is that the right thing to focus on anyway, and what is happiness and what is joy, and all of that.
If you're really following your true heart's desire, then not only will that benefit you, but it will benefit everyone around you. And so again, I sound like a broken record, but it goes back to just asking, what does my heart want? Like I asked my friend that the other day, I was like, how are you? How's your heart?
I think I basically would definitely encourage everybody, and I follow my heart quite a bit. But I think what's different at 57 is that following of the heart needs to have an element of pragmatism.
I think that it's a little harder to do than people sometimes like us to believe. You have to live, you need to make money. Following your heart doesn't always include making money. Being a poet is like probably one of the worst paid jobs you could ever have. $50 for a poem that took you 3 months to write.
Let's say I want to be a poet and I write decent poetry. Great, go for it. But if writing poetry and publishing alone will not put food on the table for me and my family, I need to be pragmatic and do something more in order to, I think, have a life that's a bit more easier to navigate.
To me, I think about it as something being a lot more practical. We're trained to make decisions from our mind. We're trained to weigh the pros and cons and really think it out, and that's important. I mean, we are in these physical bodies that have that capabilities, and that's a good thing. But I think that can also confuse us because there's all these different opinions and energies that come into play.
I just think that, like, I know whenever I've acted outside of who I truly am, that doesn't feel good. And you know it.
Often we get sidetracked and doing things out of alignment with that, and it's this icky feeling that's not congruent with who we really are.
When you're faced with a decision that you're not really sure about, just kind of come into your heart and come into your body about it and just say, okay, you've got your A and your B. And when you say, if I do this, how does it feel in my body? Your first impulse, does it feel like contraction? Does it feel like, then that's a no, because your body doesn't lie. Your body tells you, right? If it feels like ease and relief and like an exhale, then it's a yes, and then follow that flow.
I think the question is intended to be follow your intuition, right? Following your heart. Well, that means I want everything to be perfect and everything to be just like, oh, I want to go there and I want to do this and I want to do that. And I don't know, if we all followed what we want, then we're all going for the joy and the happiness and all those moments that is not the whole thing of life, right? So following your intuition means recognizing what your needs are, recognizing what your wishes are, recognizing what you want, what feels good for you, and making the choices that align with that.
So should we follow our heart? Yes, but we should understand what that means and lean into how do we want to feel, and am I feeling that now? And if not, how do I feel more like how I want to feel, so that when we look back over time, we can say, oh yeah, like I followed my path.
I've always followed my intuition. It saved my life over and over again. And so you have to make peace with so I'll make less money, but I have to make peace with having a simpler life. And so I think that following our heart is in one way good advice, but I prefer to think of it as intuition.
What does it mean to you to live life on your own terms? Is this even possible, and does it get easier with age?
I've thought about that a lot because, I've had moments where I've had, okay economic situations, and I've had moments where I've had very little, like there's literally nothing in the bank. You've already cleaned out your piggy bank, like you're looking under the couch for some money to go get some milk or whatever, as a child and as an adult. But during those times without money, I always thought, well, how do I keep myself not just happy, but dreaming? Because I think dreaming is a big, important part of everything. So if I can't dream of something new, how am I ever going to have something better?
If you ask me, are you living life on your own terms, Shobhana? I would say yes. But that does not mean 24/7, 365 days of the year, I'm only doing things I love and want to do, right? Because that is a little bit difficult, right, in real life. But what it means is that I ultimately have a lot of control over my choices and what I choose to do with my life.
You have to find some way to continue to dream. And so for me, that was always by creating some natural beauty around me. So I could go out and get driftwood, I could get some pine cones, I could get some rocks, I could just have natural beauty around me because I need to have beauty. I think I'm visual, and so we're all different. So we might need different things. So I'm visual, I have to have things to look at that look beautiful.
And I don't care what society really says, do it if that's what you want. So that's all living, on my own terms. It's not easy, it's not impossible, but it's not easy to do that all the time. Definitely you can do it most of the time, but you got to be mentally prepared and strong to take a big dose of criticism and disapproval.
Maybe you guys have to be very strong if you're gonna do this. You have to face so many failures. Are you strong enough to take those failures? Are you strong enough to face that criticism when at your face somebody tells you you're not good enough, you're a loser, and it happens all the time.
I also think living life on your own terms is not just trying to follow what other people think you should do, which I think a lot of people spend their lives fruitlessly trying to seek other people's approval. To what end? And then we keep going down that path of seeking approval, and then all of a sudden you realize I don't even need that approval or want that approval, and I'm totally away from like what I even enjoy doing.
For example, my friends, who I call them friend these days, and I know them for so many years, they say, Sandy, no, you don't need to do a show anymore. I'm like, I'm not doing for anyone. I'm doing for myself. It's my passion. I feel empowered when I follow the discipline.
It absolutely gets easier because you get the proof. You get the proof. When I don't do what my alignment and my truth tells me to do, it freaking hurts. And it takes me way longer to bounce back. It absolutely gets better with age because you know you can. Like,
I've been told many times by my community, oh no, you are not good enough, or you look like a man, or you what you're doing, this is not our culture. They will come and show my pictures to my father-in-law who is fully baptized. Oh, this is your daughter-in-law, you brought her from village. So it made me sad. But then over time, I become so strong that I didn't care. When I choose one path, I'm a very loyal as well. I will just stick with that. That's all. And I will keep moving no matter. I know bad time comes, good time comes. I will keep moving forward. And the end result is always, I think, it makes you stronger, who you are.
I now know depressive moments will come, hard things will come. But I also know because I've made it 15 rounds, I'm going to be able to make it 22 rounds. Like it's you just start having faith in yourself and trust in yourself that you're going to be able to keep picking yourself up until the day that you say, I'm not going to pick myself up, and then it's done. And then it's done.
The only thing that exists is the journey. It's not about standing on the top of the mountain once you reach it. It's about the arduous path of climbing, and you deserve and you are worthy of a journey that brings you joy and that feels aligned and it feels authentic and it excites you in all of the right ways and it makes you just a little bit like afraid in your belly with the right kind of butterflies and allows you to stretch outside your comfort zone and to grow and to do the things that you feel align with what you're here to do.
All this judgment, opinion, ideas about who you are, and you know that people are doing that.
They do that.
How does that make you feel?
If I talk about 10, 15 years ago, I did actually feel sadness. I try to explain. I go out of my way to make them comfortable.
I mean, growing up, I felt like everything was wrong with me, right? I wasn't born a boy. So right away there was this, what's wrong with you? How do you figure out what's valued by others? So you try to shift and contort. And
for example, I will wear full sleeve clothes when I'm going in public so they don't see my tattoo, so they don't make those assumptions. But not anymore. Not anymore. This is who I am. That's all. So that has been changed. Yeah.
No, you're not being authentic. You're not being in your truth. And you need to start acting in alignment because life just gets harder and harder when you don't. So, no, I didn't always think that way.
How do we find the courage to stay on our path?
I think if I were to pick two things, it would be respect and gratitude. I fundamentally respect life, I respect myself, and I respect others. I fundamentally do.
I am inherently a lover of life. Like, it's exciting. I love touching things. I love eating things. I love like embracing my husband. I love like laughing with my brother. You know, like these things feel really good. And I want to keep feeling those things.
I think the more we can do that for ourselves, the easier life gets. And I don't mean easy like it's all joy and happy. What it means is you get the resilience to be able to make it through those times that are hard. Or you show up with a friend and sit there because it's hard for them and they can't do that yet.
Even if you're empowered and you're doing so good, but you're not happy within, you're not confident, then I don't know anything else matters. Everything has to be a combined, all those things has to be combined. Your internal growth, your external growth, and you need to feel confident, you need to feel happy, you need to feel beautiful.
We can try things and they might be better, they might be worse, we don't know. I know that staying the same, I have a pretty good idea if I do everything the way that I was doing it before, how things are going to be, because that's a linear, we can draw that line. If I want things to be better or different, let's say if I want things to be different, then we can change things and we can see what happens. And if things get way worse than we wanted or not the way that we wanted, I know that we can change it again and we can change it again and we can change it again.
Criticism or disapproval, name calling, whatever be it, right? I'm able to receive it as a part of life and be grateful for that too, because it actually then helps you, continuously redefine and confirm who you want to be in this lifetime. In the end, we come with nothing and we're going to go with nothing. And we have a short period called life during which we have to make choices, how we want to show up in this world and feel about ourselves and others. And I would rather lean on the side of respect, gratitude, and kindness every single time.
There is so much power in community and sharing. And that's definitely been a theme throughout my whole life, is to cultivate a voice and to know that I don't have to do it on my own, and to ask for help and to be able to sit in community and share and not worry about being judged or anything like that. So yeah, none of us are alone, no matter how much we sometimes feel like we are. And so to seek out community and support when and where you need it, and just have more damn fun. We just need to laugh a lot more.
Living life on your own terms takes courage. It means cutting through the noise, trusting your instincts, and making choices that align with who you are and not who the world says you should be. The women we've heard from remind us that authenticity isn't always easy, but making choices that don't cross your heart is worth it. Living fully means embracing the messy, the beautiful, and the unexpected. It means giving yourself permission to grow and change. I hope this series has reflected that midlife isn't about endings. It's about possibilities. Of course, there will be challenges. There will be days when the expectation of the world will feel heavy. And when fear triggers your deepest wounds and threatens to hold you back, I hope you'll lean into the possibility of letting go of the expectations and beliefs that no longer serve you. I hope you'll take a moment to shut out the noise, reconnect with your heart, and make choices to create a life that feels aligned with who you truly are. As the inspired Maya Angelou said, "My mission in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive, and to do so with some passion, some compassion, some humor, and some style." Until we meet again, I'm Dr. Natasha Ghosh, reminding you that life can be messy. So from the bottom of my heart and in all sincerity, I hope that you'll show yourself some love, trust the process, and lean into all the feels, because this is how we live.
I'm from the worn edges of a favorite book. From jelly beans and Kanban boards. I'm from the heart of a cozy forest sanctuary, spaces for connection and solitude, sunlight streaming through the windows. I'm from cherished holiday ornaments and extended family lake summers, from my lovers and from my children. I'm from adventure-seeking storytellers and always room for one more around the table. From someday you won't be popular anymore and buck up dear, it's no time to cry. I'm from the familiarity of church services in a language I don't speak, from the squeaky wooden stairs to the church loft, pierogies and Saturday morning pancakes rolled up with pats of butter. From the conviction of a one-way this lifetime ticket across the ocean, the multi-generational bone-deep sting of the family farm lost in the Depression. From a few token pictures and mementos on display and countless stories and lessons held in fading memories. For everything before this moment is ash, and living in the present is all we're ever truly capable of, if we pause long enough to give in to now.